Although getting to these locations can be challenging, the sights are well worth the effort. Yes, there are moments when nothing beats sipping a cocktail from a tiny umbrella while lounging on a sandy beach. In other cases, a real vacation might entail hiking through a remote area. The term remote has several levels of meaning. More resilient and energy-efficient cruise ships have made it possible to take some travels that were once thought to be impossible, seeing penguins in Antarctica, for example. Though it's getting more difficult to locate genuinely isolated locations, thanks to Instagram, there are still incredible locations to discover. Here are the 13 most beautiful isolated islands and communities in the world. Number 13. Itakura Tormete. Itakura Tormete is one of the hardest places on Earth to get to due to a harsh climate, and for 500 miles in all directions there are no nearby cities. However, that adds to the allure of Itakura Tormete. Traveling to Reykjavik and then taking a short flight to Akureyri in northern Iceland is the most efficient method to get here. The final part of the journey entails flying to Constable Point, Greenland, from whence you can take a Fido-powered express, also known as a dog sled, to the village. Alternatively, visitors can witness the Arctic Ocean, snow-capped mountains, and if they're lucky, the Northern Lights by taking a 15-minute helicopter journey from Constable Point. Number 12. Kerguelen Islands. This untamed archipelago, roughly the size of the state of Delaware, is located in the southern Indian Ocean close to Antarctica. It is also known as the Desolation Islands because of how isolated and harsh the landscape is. The Kerguelens is a region that was once home to no one, including French scientists and local wildlife, penguins and seals. Its fjords, sheer cliffsides, powerful winds, and freezing temperatures are what define its scenery. The only means of transportation to the Kerguelen Islands is by boat, and the Marion de Fres makes the trip there 4 times a year. The cost of a ticket is high. As a tourist, a trip on the Marion will set you back $18,000 per person. Number 11. The Naila Pass. The Upper Mustang, a rural area in northern Nepal, is home to the Naila Pass. The Kaligandaki Road Corridor, which the Nepalese army started building in 2021, is the only route to the pass. Although there is a risk of landslides and severe snowfall on the pass, the road provides some of the most breathtaking vistas in the entire nation. Adventurers will witness numerous snow-capped peaks in Nepal in addition to the country's famous cliffs made of limestone and shale. Note: the air is thin here due to the high elevation. Make sure you take frequent rests and, if necessary, carry extra oxygen. A local hiking guide might be able to help. Number 10. Svalbard. There are more polar bears than people in this archipelago, which is sandwiched between Norway and the North Pole. Even while Svalbard is now considerably more accessible and a well-liked cruise ship destination, is still a wild place at heart. Here, polar bears, walruses, reindeer, and ringed and harp seals will all be visible to fortunate visitors. Svalbard, which is one of the northernmost inhabited regions on Earth, is a great destination to see the northern lights in the winter and enjoy summers with 24 hours of sunshine. Number 9. Tuamotu. The Tuamotu Archipelago, which consists of 78 coral reef atolls to the east and north of Tahiti, is sufficiently remote from the outside world to avoid being overly affected by over-tourism. Rather of concentrating on drawing in tourists from abroad, the local economy is based on fishing, coconuts, and black pearls, a lot of black pearls. The Tuamotu Archipelago is a scuba diver's dream come true with an abundance of flourishing coral reefs because the marine environment has not been altered. Number 8. Machu Picchu. At the time, Machu Picchu was regarded as one of the most inaccessible locations on Earth when explorer Hiram Bingham discovered it in 1911 while exploring the Peruvian rainforest. It can still only be reached by train or hike. Thanks to 2 train lines and hundreds of tour operators offering treks to the, as of 1983, UNESCO World Heritage Site, an average of 1.5 million persons visit annually, and it remains a marvel to behold even in the midst of its fame and popularity. June through August, the dry winter months, are Machu Picchu's high season. Consider going in April, May, September, or October, when there are less people and temperatures typically reach the 60s Fahrenheit, as hotels in Aguas Calientes, the town at the foot of the mountain, fill up months in advance. Number 7. Milford Track. The roughly 30-mile-long Milford Track, which leads into Milford Sound and is renowned for its breathtaking coastal views, is one of the most picturesque walks in all of New Zealand. Situated approximately 4 hours' drive from the closest city, Queenstown, New Zealand, the Milford Track is well recognized as one of New Zealand's great walks, drawing a large number of hikers to complete the 5-day circuit that passes through foggy mountains, freezing glaciers, rainforests, and waterfalls. Number 6. Dinjandi. Despite being the most popular tourist destination, Dinjandi Waterfall is one of Iceland's largest. Nestled in the secluded West Fjords, often referred to as the area's crown jewel, This 330-foot waterfall produces a thunderous roar known as Dinjandi. It is reported that the shape formed by the several cascades, which are roughly 98 feet wide at the top and 646 feet wide at the bottom, resembles a bridal veil. The quick 15-minute climb up to the main falls is made even more spectacular by a few more waterfalls below Dinjandi, where you can even sight some Arctic foxes. Number 5. Himo Beach. James A. Michener and Mark Twain both extolled the virtues of Himo Beach's secluded splendor. Perhaps the greatest beach on the island is this remote section of the eastern coast of Maui, which is sandy, protected, and fringed with palms. However, because so many visitors accidentally pass right by Himo on their way to the 64-mile town of Hana, it is frequently more deserted than crowded, so that you don't have to rush, reserve a night in Hana to fully absorb it all. Number 4. The Pitcairn Islands. It's reasonable to argue that Pitcairn has a notorious past. It's the place where the HMS Bounty mutineers, famous for their rebellion on the Bounty, settled. Travelers can spend 4 to 11 days traveling from Mangareva in French Polynesia to Pitcairn, where they must join a quarterly transport vessel. Number 3. Street Helena. Napoleon famously spent his last days on the South Atlantic island of Street Helena, and until recently, the only way to get there was to take the Royal Mail ship, which leaves from Cape Town for a week at sea. Airlink, a South African carrier, now operates a weekly 4-hour flight from Johannesburg, making it simpler to visit the island to hike Diana's Peak, which rises to 2,600 feet, or spend time with Jonathan, the gigantic tortoise from the Seychelles, who is reportedly 185 years old. Number 2. The Outer Hebrides. A decent share, if not an excessive amount of tourists visit several of the Scottish Isles, particularly islands like Skye where infrastructure hasn't kept up with the island's soaring popularity. The Outer Hebrides, which include the main islands of Lewis and Harris, North and South Uist, Benbecula, and Barra, lie beyond them. Regular ferries come in a number of ports, but if you really want to make an impression, purchase a Loganair ticket from Glasgow to Barra and land on the beach at low tide. Number 1. Madagascar. Madagascar is one of the most biodiverse islands in the world. 92% of the island's mammals, plants, and reptiles are unique to Madagascar, making it a popular travel destination for those who enjoy the outdoors. However, the island, which lies off the coast of Mozambique, has a number of logistical issues. There are not many flights into the nation, and once you are there, getting around is challenging due to the rugged, winding, and uneven roads. Lemurs, unusual topography, and enormous, fanciful baobab trees make the island well worth the effort. Thank you for joining us on this incredible journey to explore some of the world's most remote villages. We hope you enjoyed discovering these hidden gems as much as we did. If you love this adventure, don't forget to give us a thumbs up, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to our channel for more amazing content. Until next time, keep exploring and stay curious.